Hey guys, FilmCrazyAdam here, and I saw Prometheus last night, and the reason why I'm doing this review this morning as opposed to last night is because I couldn't really figure out how to talk about this movie last night, and I'm even going to have some trouble right now, because even now I'm like, what did I just see? But, like last night, me and my friends went to go see Prometheus, and I came out of it afterwards telling my friend, like, dude, I want to make a vlog about this, but I don't know what I would talk about. So, I actually was going to write a text review about this, and I fell asleep writing it last night. So, fell asleep, I woke up this morning, I kind of got to sleep on the whole concept of it a little bit, and I decided that this movie is very B. This is a B horror movie. In fact, it's lower than B. It's like a C or a D horror movie, because sci-fi horror movie, because most of the movie didn't make any sense. This had horror movie logic in it. You know how in horror movies, or specifically slasher movies, where the main characters hear a noise in the basement, and so their first thought is, let's take a candle. Let's take a candle down there, but let's not take any weapons. Let's not take it like a frying pan, a baseball bat. Let's not take anything down there with us. We just heard a weird noise. We're going to go down there one by one, or better yet, we're going to go down there as a group, but as soon as we get down there, we're going to split up. Each of us are going to be equipped with a candle and our bare hands, so anything can blow out the candle and we're going to be dead because we got nothing to defend ourselves. That's kind of what that's the kind of logic that this movie went on. Because I'm going to try to avoid spoilers on the off chance that anyone wants to go see this movie. Well, actually it's not an off chance, because this movie, I'll get back to the movie in a second, but this movie has kind of had a build-up for a while now. Everyone knew that this movie was coming out, that this movie was being directed by Ridley Scott. And if you're a fan of Ridley Scott's Alien from 1979, if you've seen that movie, you're familiar with that movie, and then you watch the trailer for Prometheus, then you've seen correlations, you've seen enough similarities that everyone, I think, who knew about Alien is going into this movie thinking that this might be a bit of a prequel. Me included, because I'll tell you right now, in the original Alien movie, they find this alien spacecraft. They find that spacecraft, not that spacecraft, but the exact same model of spacecraft that's in Alien is in this movie. The exact same model. The control room in the first Alien movie that had that giant alien in kind of like this giant chair that looked like it was like a cannon of some sort, but was actually a pilot's chair. That was in this movie. In fact, the pilot's chair, the alien, with the same headpiece and everything, was in this movie. I mean, it looked exactly alike because they wanted you to make that correlation, that this takes place in the Alien universe. What else? The Weyland Corporation, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, which, of course, is in all the Alien movies and the Alien vs. Predator movies, that too is in this movie. In fact, that's how they get to this alien planet. They find... Alright, I keep jumping around. The humans find, on Earth, at the beginning of the movie, the humans find these cave paintings, like, all over the world, in caves. They find these cave paintings. Civilizations, separated by millennia and thousands of miles. These civilizations have never met, ever, or any kind of contact. But if they all have cave paintings, they all share one painting in particular. This picture of a large humanoid figure pointing off to a star system. And for some reason, they first thought that that was a map? Like, how? That's not a map! That's a picture of a constellation! Number one. Number two, they're like, they want us to go find them. And somehow, I don't know why, they never explain this. The humans on Earth, or at least these archaeologists, have this really strong belief that, based on no evidence that was shown to us, that they believe that these aliens came to Earth and actually seeded our planet. Like, we are a science experiment, or we are a science experiment by these aliens, but never once do they ever show any proof of that or any kind of, like, evidence. Like, Why do you think that? Why do you... So aliens came to Earth and seeded... Do you have any evidence? Do you have any idea? Is there any... How? How did you come to that conclusion? They never mentioned that. But so anyway, the Weyland Corporation, which is in all the Alien movies, funds them. Stupid reason. The head of the Weyland Corporation funds them to go and find our creators, our engineers. And anyway, so that's what the marketing people wanted you to do. They really heavily advertised it as Alien. I mean, Ridley Scott, the director of Alien, made this movie because they wanted you to draw that correlation. They wanted you to go in the theaters. They were pulling in the Alien audience and the fans of that franchise. That's what they were aiming for, because I think they knew that if they just made this movie, it was going to be stupid. Well, the movie was stupid. For a sci-fi movie, for a horror movie, things that didn't make sense, things that they would establish that made no sense whatsoever later on. Best example I have is, there's this... Alright, you're only going to know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie, so I'm not going to go into that. But you have these guys. Yeah, alright, there are these two geologists. Again, I don't know... Right there, there are these two guys who kind of have attitude when they're first introduced. They're geologists. They study rocks. And the guy makes a point like, I study rocks. That's what I do. I love rocks. Why is he being brought to a first contact situation? Because that's what this is. These people went there under the hope and the belief that they would find aliens and then literally just talk to them. Like, that was their idea. Like, we're going to sit down and talk with these aliens and ask them why they built us. Okay? That's not a bad idea, but what kind of hypothesis did you come up with to make you think that they wanted to talk to you? Let's say, I mean, right off the bat, let's say these aliens did. They seeded an entire planet. They created an entire new life form. They built an entire species. They've never come back since. You don't think that, you don't think they wanted, like, if they haven't come back, why would they want to see you? Like, why would you think that they would want to see you if they've never come back to see you? You see what I'm saying? They don't care. If they're still alive, they don't care. They don't want to talk to us, or else they would have by now, or else they would have shown their presence. But anyway, these guys, like, when they arrive on the planet, they go into what we think is an alien military installation. They go inside the ship, and immediately the guys, he's like, they find a dead alien, and this guy's like, immediately like, F this, I did not sign on for this, I am freaked out, I'm going home, and just, him and the other guy leave. Like, 10-15 minutes later in the movie, again, they're they find more bodies, by the way, and again, they're freaked out. 10 minutes after that, an alien worm thing that kind of resembles a penis, gets up in his face, and he's immediately like, oh wow, look at this! Look at this! I'm a geologist that loves rocks and stuff and gets freaked out by the ideas of aliens, but I am so interested in this alien penis worm. And there's this... They just constantly do this thing where they establish one point of view and then immediately go against it. They do immediately the opposite of what they just said they were going to do. Like I said, horror movie, slasher movie mentality. So, without really getting too much into spoilers, because I don't want to get into spoilers, because this is going to take a long time to really describe this movie and talk about this movie, because you really have to go about this movie scene by scene to really understand it. And even after doing that, I have a hard time understanding it. So, I'll just say that this movie it didn't make any sense, and it contradicted itself, and when all was said and done, this is a grade D sci-fi movie. The only reason why, again, this has nothing to do with Alien. You're supposed to believe it does, like it's a prequel or it takes place in the same universe, and they throw enough elements where I guess I'm going to have to say it does take place in the Alien universe, but it has nothing to do with that movie. Nothing to do with that franchise. And if it weren't for the fact that Ridley Scott directed this movie no one would say this movie has anything to do with Alien, because it doesn't. They, like I said, they kind of there's little throwbacks to Alien, like the way, you've seen it in the trailers. Like I said, with the chair and the alien ship, and also when they enter this room, which has this giant stone head, which they never explain, by the way. Like, giant stone head, okay. They never explain it, they never talk about it, it's just freaking there for no reason. It's so stupid. But there's these pods of, I figured that they were like mutagenic black ooze. Like a bioweapon, basically. Like, you throw this black ooze on stuff, and it mutates. Because that's what happens with these, I guess they're like grubs, or they're maggots. They never explain that either. There's like life on this planet. There are these maggots. There's these worms that like live in the soil. But when you pour like this mutagenic black ooze in these containers, these containers, by the way, that you see in the trailer, these containers, which are spaced out the exact same way the alien eggs are in the original Alien movie, so that's a callback to that movie as well. But this mutagenic ooze, if it touches you, you mutate. I mean, it really is like comic book toxic waste. Like, if you touch it, you mutate into something, like some monster. It's really 1950s. But, anyway, so this movie was really stupid. This movie, I can't, I'm having a hard time now seeing if I even enjoyed it. I think I didn't. I didn't enjoy this movie because afterwards I was so confused. By the way, this was one of the quietest movie premieres I had ever seen. I'd ever been to. You know when you go to a movie, and if it's a comedy, people are laughing, or if it's a horror movie, people are like, ah! They're yelling. They're really getting into the movie. This was really quiet. I mean, me and my friends were kind of commenting back and forth, but this movie was, I can't remember the last time I've been to a movie so quiet and so dead. The theater was packed. I mean, the theater was completely packed. I think there was like 10 seats that weren't full, but this was a packed theater, and it was really quiet. When the movie ended, me and my friends, like I said, we stayed for after the credits. Nothing happens after the credits. We turned around. There's nobody in the theater. Like, they ninja'd out of that theater. It was so quiet. That's how everyone left this movie, except for us, in a daze. Like, they didn't know what they had just seen. Like, they were shocked. Like, they were offended or something. Like, this movie confused the hell out of people. Because none of it makes any sense. None of the things that happen make any sense. At all. So, that's my review of this movie. This movie really wasn't that good. It was pretty bad. And the only reason why people would go see it is because they think it has something to do with Alien, and because Ridley Scott directed it. Again, going back to my three prejudged reasons, people went to go see this movie because of director, number 1, and source material, number 3. That's the only reason why people went to go see this movie. Because the trailer didn't make it look good. The trailer was just as confusing as the movie itself. If you watch that trailer, I dare any of you to post a comment and tell me I know what this movie's about, based just on the trailer, because you're wrong. If you tell me that it's based off of... Alright, I'm going to stop right there. Anyway, that's my review for this movie. It's a bad movie. And really, it's one of those that you kind of have to experience how bad it is. But, like, I wouldn't suggest paying money for this movie. Watch it on demand, or, like, rent it for $1 from Redbox when it comes out. But I really don't recommend this movie. So, anyway, on a side note, I know I keep saying that my next review from Paris with Love is coming out, and it is coming out. But I've had a lot of some major things happening in my life right now. Some good things, but I have somebody who's really sick right now and probably won't make it to the 4th of July. Anyway, so I'm a little behind on things, and I apologize for that. And I'm gonna try and work harder because I want to make a good product. I want to make something for my fans. I want to make something you guys enjoy. Anyway, so Prometheus, yeah, don't go see it. It's not worth it. Anyway, bye.